Hi everybody, I'm here at the ADK Loj Lodge and this is my campsite. I had quite a little with my tent getting wet, and I didn't know, but I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually, yeah, you can see it. There's actually like a little river that was flowing right to where my tent site was that I did not notice. I set the tent up, and so now that I'm looking at my site, I think that there's a much better spot for my tent over there, but you know, live and learn. So I got super wet, my tent got wet, the footprint was wet, my sleeping bag was hanging off my mattress, and that got wet, and I got wet and cold, and I freaked out. I don't even know what day that was. And I went to the front desk and I was like, I'm cold and I'm wet and I don't know what to do. And they were like, well, we have this cabin for rent. So it was super expensive because it was a 6-person cabin, but I was so desperate, and I called my friend and I was like, what should I do? And she goes, well, if you put that wet tent in your roof box for any length of time, it's going to be moldy. So you better have to spend the money to dry the tent out. So I rented the cabin and I cranked the heat and I strung the tent up inside, and I set the tent up. Maybe I'll put some pictures up, I don't know. And got it all dry, and you know, I had a hot meal and a hot shower, and I froze some ice bottles in the freezer and kind of refueled and regrouped, and then checked the weather forecast is like rain and snow for the next, you know, on and off for 10 days. So I decided I'm going to sleep in my car and just hang out, you know, but still have the campsite. So that's my short-term plan. I spent a whole day trying to get a loan to buy a van, and then the person that was selling the van changed their mind for a good reason. And so, you know, I have no malice there. But so now I'm kind of hunting around for another van, a cargo van, which you guys know as a mold avoider, I'm going to obviously have to be unmasked. And that one I was getting from a mold avoider, so I was pretty confident about it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to buy anything right away. I might wait a little longer until I'm more comfortable that I'm unmasked. So, yeah, I love it here. The air feels great to me. That cabin did feel a little... I didn't feel so good in it. I think maybe there's a little bit of mold, maybe definitely chemicals. So I just feel way better here, you know, and I sleep with the window open in my car. So I can, even if it's cold, so that I can get the full benefit of breathing the fresh air all night long, which is kind of what I was doing in my house to survive. Things with my house are moving along. My brother and his friends went up there and emptied it, and my real estate agent and another friend of mine are going up there today to, I don't know, shine it a little and stage it. So got that going on. But I have to say, we're in a group text, and I think it was my brother put a picture of my back porch with all of my stuff, you know, piled up, and he said that they had taken a lot of loads to the dump. And wow, I mean, I really had a good cry after that, because just seeing that and knowing that, you know, my house is empty. It was real before, but it's just hard, you know. It's a grieving process, and there's a lot of emotions that go along with it. You know, every single thing that was thrown away to me had a memory attached to it. So I'm just, you know, I'm trying to be gentle with myself. I'm trying to allow myself to grieve. I'm writing about it, and I'm sharing with others about it, because above all, my whole being is centered on acting like Christ. And you know what he says is that, you know, we forgive. Yes, people hurt us, but forgive them, for they know not what they do. And honestly, many times the people that hurt us, they just, I would say 99% of the time, it's not on purpose. It's just a product of who they are, a product of our sin nature as human beings. And, you know, so that's my goal is, no matter what's going on, no matter who's staying in my life or who's leaving my life, I'm just like trying to say, God, this is This is a sick person. Help them. Save me from being angry, because what is that going to help? It's not going to help anything. And most of the people are people who have been really good to me. It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys. And so if you're a mold avoider, or maybe you're a wannabe mold avoider, because I know what I did was, as soon as I found out about the mold and the mold avoidance, I started studying. I started watching all these mold avoiders channels. I started watching Cheap RV Living with Bob Wells. And I was making a plan to exit last February. I was headed to a campground in New Mexico when the COVID hit and closed everything down and stopped me in my tracks. But while I was yet home, I was planning. So if you're home and you're in a moldy house and you think, oh, there's nothing I can do, there is something you can do. You can educate yourself. You can read all the books, read all of Eric's books. I haven't read Brian's book yet, but I think it's called Lyme Disease Supercharged. But he has a podcast. I would listen to that. I watched Bob Wells incessantly. I watched people who are dwelling in vans. Whatever kind of car you have, there's someone out there living in it. And I did that too. I watched people who are living in Subarus and how are they doing it. And so, because of that, I was able to prepare a little bit, so I wasn't completely caught unawares. And I'm so grateful for that. I am, I'm even grateful for the pandemic, even though it's caused a lot of havoc and killed people and whatever, but I can see now how God uses everything. He uses everything for good. Oh, so I got to do a shout out to this little store I found in Lake Placid called Green Goddess Grocery. I think it's Green Goddess Grocery. And the woman there that owns it, her name's Tammy. I said, I'm camping and I can't tolerate coffee, but I'd really love some kind of coffee. And so she turned me on to this Roma calf-free roasted grain beverage. And to put a little cacao in it and a little stevia in it and a little coconut milk. Oh, I'm telling you, I am so excited right now drinking this. I'm so grateful for this. I was thanking God for it. I'm like, it's just awesome. I'm so happy. And I tolerated it, you guys. I didn't have a reaction. Whereas normally anything I put in my body, I was nervous because it's a roasted grain beverage. I thought, oh, great, I'm going to have a reaction. Nope, I didn't have a reaction. So I don't know if that's because I'm in such good air or what, but part of the routine when I get up in the morning is to air everything out as best I can. I have this little Lucy light. I love this thing. The handle broke, but I charge it up in the sun as best I can, and it really gives a bright, as a matter of fact, I even wish it had a lower setting just so it could be, but yeah. And then I organize myself in all of these bins. They're kind of like those shoebox bins. And I kind of do it by time of day. Like, okay, I have a morning one of everything I need in the morning. So I'm not rifling through my stuff, trying to get everything together. I just take this one bin out and I pretty much have everything I need for the morning here, And it rained last night, but the wind is great. It's drying things off. I'm excited that it's sunny. I have some neighbors across the way. We've kind of been talking back and forth. That's awesome for me. I mean, you have to understand, I have been basically since July of 2018, I've basically been bedbound. And then, maybe I'll see my neighbor a couple times a week if I would get enough strength to walk across the street to feed her horse an apple. Some days I would literally only have the strength to walk to my car, and I would have to, it's only across the street, guys, but I would have to drive over there just to feed the horse an apple. But that was like the highlight of my day, is interacting with that horse and maybe seeing my neighbor for a couple minutes. And, and with the advent of Zoom, that opened up my world a lot. I was able to interact with a lot more people, meet a lot more people in a lot of different fellowships that I attend. So that was great. And so I keep procrastinating, you guys. Please pray for me. Moldies do crazy stuff. Okay, so I ordered this solar panel. I was really excited about it. It was a Dokyo solar panel. I saw it on Bob Wells. It was relatively inexpensive. It was small, so you could fold it up. So I knew it would fit in my roof box. So I ordered it. I got it a while ago. I set it up for one day. I was excited. I charged all my devices with it. You don't need anything. It has a little USB thing. Anyway, the smell of it, like at first it didn't bother me because it was outdoors and the wind was blowing. But when I folded that thing up, and I didn't even put it inside my vehicle, I put it in the roof box. I was laying in bed and I started coughing and choking, and I was like, oh great, it must be that. So I took it out, sure enough. And the thing is, for me, anything with flame retardant on it, anything with waterproofing on it. So I even have to, thank God, you guys, the store over here, the people don't buy a lot of the stuff, so it hangs there for a long time. So it's like God provided this little gem for me. Everything in there that I smell or touch, I'm able to wear it right away. Like this hoodie, I can't wear a normal hoodie from a store for a couple of different reasons. One, the chemicals that are on them just when they're new, and two, now that they're sanitizing everywhere, that stuff soaks into the chemicals. But over there, I'm able to wear this stuff. So I'm like buying, a fleece and a hoodie and a t-shirt, and I'm just so grateful that I have, access to that place. Anyway, back to the solar panel. So I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? I can't stand to have it in my vehicle. So every single garbage bag I had that was big enough, I wrapped it up, I duct taped them closed, and then I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Dude, I learned this from Daryl on The Walking Dead, how he hid his motorcycle. So I dug into the leaves, I put the thing under the leaves, and I reburied it in the woods in Lyon Mountain. So I, did the Amazon return deal. So I have to go up to Lyon Mountain, dig this thing up, put it in my car, and drive it to the thing to return it to Amazon to get my money back. There's nothing wrong with it other than I can't tolerate it. So I've been procrastinating doing that. Going from here to there, up and over the mountains, the back way, which is the way that I want to go. It's going to take about an hour and 20 minutes. And so going up that way and then not driving down my street past my house, because even just driving down that street, I get a mold hit. So I have to go around and get it and then put it in the roof box. And then from there, I have to drive it to Plattsburgh, which is another 30 minutes away. It's kind of like a big triangle I'm going to be making when I do this journey to return it. But also, I want to go to the Plattsburgh mail and ship so that I can do one of these services that I've seen called like iPostal, or there's another one called Escapees, where you use the mail service as your address, and all your mail goes there, and then they forward it to you wherever you are. So I need to do that because this lady in Lyon Mountain is so awesome. Linda, shout out to Linda in Lyon Mountain Post Office. She's awesome. She's been holding my mail and my packages for me. Well, it's not fair to have her do that forever. Plus, I have no idea where I'm going, so I need to do this. I need to go to Lyon Mountain, dig that thing up. Oh, plus I need some Lyon Mountain spring water. Let me just tell you how grateful I am for that Lyon Mountain spring water. I mean, I've been buying water. It just doesn't taste as good. The water here has chlorine in it, so I can't drink it. I absolutely cannot drink any water with chlorine in it. So I've been buying water, but I've been using it for washing up and stuff. So I want to fill up my water jugs while I'm in Lyon Mountain, get my mail, get that solar panel, and I've just been doing health. Like, if I feel good enough, I'll do it, So I think I feel pretty good. So I think I may try to do that today. Go to Lyon Mountain, get that thing, go to Plattsburgh. And I also have to get my car fixed. So I need to call the car guy and see if the part came in. So I don't know. It's almost like a house of cards. Every day I wake up and I'm not sure, okay, God, what's going on today? Thy will be done. And so that's how I've kind of been doing it. Now I didn't go to bed till late last night because I was on a phone call. And not a phone call, a video call over by the lodge where there's Wi-Fi. And it took me a while to settle down. So you know what? I slept in. I woke up at 7:30, went to the bathroom. I went back to sleep. I didn't wake up till 12:10. And you know what? That's okay. Because if that's what my body needs right now, that's what my body needs right now. So yeah, so that's just me out here, staying alive, breathing fresh air and just doing the best that I can, just knowing that even though I feel alone, I'm not alone because God's always with me. and he loves me, and he has a plan for me, and he has a plan for you too, whatever it is. If you're laying sick in bed watching this right now, trust me, there is a plan for you. Just keep seeking him, keep asking him. You know, eventually, I mean, the night I ran out of my house, it was almost like I was stuck. I had what they call mold hold. I wasn't ready. I mean, but it was like God almost said, Michelle, you're done. Your body's giving, like, you know, he kind of pulled the plug. And then from there, I just had to respond. So I'm really grateful that you're here, that you're watching my journey. I hope if you have someone in your life who's sick with like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome, right? I went to doctors for years and years and tried this drug and that drug and this drug and that drug. You guys, it was mold and chemicals. All along, it was mold. It was in chemicals that were causing my problems. And I'm even questioning now, like all these years that I've had anxiety and mostly anxiety, but anxiety, now I notice if I'm exposed to certain chemicals, I'll feel anxious or I'll feel a certain way. So I think that all those synthetic chemicals have effects on our brain that have not been studied. So how many, you know, how do we know that, you know, somebody with trembling hands, you know, yeah, it could be Parkinson's, but it could just be a reaction to the cleaners that someone's using. So I don't know. The more I know, the more I learn, the less I know. That's what I want to say. The more I learn, the less I know. And one thing I do know for sure is that when God created the world and he created human beings, he didn't create chemicals. And so, you know, and regular mold, like outdoor mold here, does not make me sick. It's only mold on stuff that's been treated with chemicals or messed with humans. So I think that what we're doing now is completely unnatural. We're trying to survive in a world that was not created for our bodies. Our bodies don't know how to process all these chemicals. They don't know how to get rid of all these chemicals. And that reminds me, I'm taking tinctures to supplement, to support my liver and things to support my kidneys so that hopefully my liver and kidneys will kick into gear and help me get rid of some of this stuff. I can't really take binders because of problems with my intestines. So, and I haven't been to any kind of those environmental doctors because they don't accept Medicare and Medicaid, and I don't have $450 for a 30-minute consultation, and I don't have money to pay for all the genetic tests that they probably would want to do. So I'm kind of relying on the help of friends in the mold community, just kind of trial and error and just instinct, and yeah, so that's it. But all right, well, this was a long one, but I felt like I needed to catch up with you because I haven't been doing the daily videos. I haven't had good service to upload them, but I think I have that figured out now. So all right, well, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will respond to you, okay, as much as I possibly can. All right, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, and hit the bell so you can see when I do a new video.